Heroes in a half shell.
What the fuck? Be in the news again. Scamming the people. We got to keep you updated with what's going on. It's really getting crazy in these streets. Ninja Turtle Man is back at it again, scamming the people. That's right. He don't got no time to go out there and find a new job, but he have time to pretty much be inside of Walmart, you know, just pretty much, putting on a Ninja Turtle outfit and jumping around in the store doing push-ups. And I'm trying to figure this out, fam. And again, if you right there, ladies and gentlemen, Ninja Turtle Man has not yet found a new job. He have not started the business yet, but he's taking your money. He's taking your money. And let's just cut to the chase, man. A lot of you guys on social media, man, it's like you're dumb. Like you guys, not only do you guys get played with women, and women are always taking your money, but dudes are taking your money. All a brother got to do is come online and say, hey, I lost my job. And it's like y'all just start donating all y'all money when the dude is not even trying to start a business. The dude has not given y'all no updates on any sort of company he's applying for, nothing. But y'all just busy sending money. Just like how you send money to women. And this is really, really sad, fam. Again, the man don't want to start a business, but he got time to record himself acting the fool in Walmart, putting on a Ninja Turtle outfit, looking like a hot mess, a real fool, fam. Like this is just a bad look for men in general. He lost his job. He took mad L's. And to add insult to injury, this is what you guys are funding right here. He got time to put on a Ninja Turtle suit, guys. How could a woman take this man serious at this point? Now, if you want to be a comedian, you could be a comedian. But, bro, at this point, you looking crazy. He's not looking for a job. If this man lost a job, why would he have time to do this? You know why he's doing this? Because you clowns are busy giving him all your money. You made it easy for the brother. As men, we're supposed to be men of integrity. We're supposed to build the brothers up by giving them wisdom and understanding, not making them go out here making a fool of us, bro. Fool of us, bro. How do you think the ladies are looking at us as men when you guys gave this guy $13,000 for him to dress up like a Ninja Turtle?
Talk to a few county clerk officers today because this man, he's on the run. All right. Now, based off of my knowledge, right, based off of my research, this all starts back in 2013. No, I'm not wasting your time. We're getting right down to the bottom of this. So this all started back in 2013. Okay. It all started in Oklahoma. This man has been on probation. He's still currently on probation. He keeps violating his probation. Now, how did he get on probation? He got on probation, Osage County to be exact. So back in 2013, he unlawfully possession of controlled drug with intent to distribute. So that was one count that he had. The second count was possess firearm during commission of felony. This is back in 2013. This is how he ended up getting on probation. The third count was unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. So all of this started back in 2013, according to my knowledge. Now, when I got to see what he was into in Arizona. So in Arizona, this man was out here working with 2 other men. Remember so he was out in Arizona. Okay. It was illegal control of enterprise. He was booked for that. Money laundering. He was booked for that. He was also booked for keep/reside house prostitution. He was booked for that. Pandering, booked for that. He also received earnings of prostitution. He was booked for that. And he was also booked for sex trafficking. Who are you out here giving your money to? That was the clerk officer in Arizona. She said that he violated his probation in the state of Arizona and in the state of Texas.
Exactly. This is one of the reasons why I started to tell my story. And after I told my side of the story, so many women have came forward. Now, this girl I found on Facebook, well, it was sent to me. And she's basically saying that they hung out and he's going around stating he got $500 on whoever finds her because that she stole his wallet or whatever, but he actually physically put hands on her. You can see it. This is her original post. I just cropped her name off of it. I don't want to expose her. I don't want to put her in any danger. So this is the Facebook post. She says she works really hard for her money. It looks like she's a single mom as well. And that he's like airing her out to whoever. This is a picture of him. And that's her little story. If she wants to come out and tell her story, that is completely up to her. It did take me a little while to come out with my side of the story. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. But again, the reason why I did it was because I wanted other women to be safe. I wanted other women to feel like they can come forward to any type of experience of abuse that they have been through. And, you know, I can keep showing you guys proof if you guys want, but that's that side.
At last.
The king's back and the throne's mine. The future's here and it's my time. Straight shot, going for the head with it. Take his head off and say that I did it. Good pittance. Say hi to the bad guy, I'm back in business. If you took what's mine, I'm back to get it. There's nothing you can do, I'm back with vengeance. Now turn me loose. Now turn me loose.
For those that's listening out there, and
since the lovely lady just graciously joined my panel, and I appreciate her dearly for doing this, so we're going ahead and bring her up, and we're going to have our own interview. And again, if y'all have questions, comments, concerns, we know how we do. Open perspective is across the board. Definitely bring her on in. So without further ado, the young lady, the ex of the guy that came on, had a lot to say, so we're going to have the conversation. Hey, lady, how you doing?
I'm holding on.
Oh man, I saw this and I have like so many questions because here in the Gray Pill Podcast, right, we're all about everything's not black and white. There's gray in the middle. And the first question I had was, it's like, okay, if I make, like, I'm the broken busy guy, right? I'm the 9-to-5 guy. I have to save up my checks from time to time, like, hey, let's go ahead and handle this business and plan my day accordingly. And I'm sitting here like, if a guy, for me personally, if a guy's like, I make 100K, or because I know plumbers, I got friends and buddies like 65K, 80K, you know, they're saving up their money, they're banking, they're doing their thing. If a guy can easily come out their mouth and say, you know what, I can easily pull out 100K out of my pocket. Why am I on a dating show with random people that like I have the game. He looking like a clean cut brother.
Yeah.
He can go out and pull any woman. I'm not saying he's God gift every woman, but why is this particular person is there? So it's like, okay, everybody, need more options. Maybe it's the social media. Okay, fine. Then there was some other stuff he's saying. My co-host, shout out to Classic Ruby, she was like, it was just a vibe he was giving. And that was like a little bit back and forth because you pretty much said the same thing. People in your comments were saying the same thing. Like it was the vibe he was giving. It was some kind of sense that he was giving, like turning women off. And me and my male co-host was like, well, he didn't say anything. He just, he's going to court. He was giving the same energy giving back. Right. And I checked your TikTok, and like I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna be fair on both sides because there was some things that you were saying way down, like texting here and showing this, and I was like, who was lying? Because he was saying his side of the story, you're saying your side of the story. So we'll leave it like that. So if you don't mind introducing yourself, and we can take it from there.
Okay, so y'all seen my TikTok. It's Pretty Girl Glaze. It took off on World Star. It took off on Twitter, and we met online, and that's just kind of how he meets women. I don't know. I've met a lot of them. So when I posted this video, I never thought it would get like the views that it got or take off the way it did. And then it just like I opened my phone and it did. And I was like, wow. So multiple women reached out to me with the same story, like similar, but even worse than me. So that's just kind of how that happened. And everyone's like, well, story time. Tell me what happened. And then I was only going to do 3 parts. I didn't want to do a 50-part series. Just bringing awareness to women because dating online is very scary. And it was a big consequence for me. I don't go out. I'm a single mom. I work 2 jobs. So it's like, where am I going to find a man? That's what I was thinking when I went online. So that's just kind of what happened. And it just kind of took off. It went back and forth. He didn't really have too much on me. All he had was a picture of him, me, and the kids. And he posted that without my permission. So that got the mom in me really, really angry,
Okay. Those are your kids that he posted.
My kids that he posted without my permission. It got taken down twice. And he just kept reposting it. He doesn't really have anything on me. He'll post a screenshot of text messages and crop out what he doesn't want to show to flip the narrative and the story. He is very, very good at creating stories in his head. Like he's up at midnight, 2, 3 in the morning, and you wake up and you're like, what are you doing? And it's because he's creating stories in his head. He's going through your phone. He's connecting your phone to his laptop. It's just nonstop. He's got to know where you're at all times.
Okay, so let's start back from the beginning. So the first question is: so we saw the dating show. It was like less than a week ago. So what's the time frame you and this gentleman was dating?
So it had to be from August and then 3 months on because I know we broke up before December.
Okay, so it was just not too long ago from the dating show.
Right.
Okay, and you said in the TikTok video y'all was dating about, I guess, like 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can walk us through the red flags for you because you mentioned red flags.
Okay. So it is a little bit hard to talk about because I feel like it's still scary. I kind of feel like he's still going to try to retaliate after this, but so I guess when I first met him, it moved fast, but I'm 30 years old, and at this point, I'm like, I could be with someone for 8 years and nothing's going to happen too. So
right.
I don't know. I guess I've been through things where I feel a little bit different. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just go with the flow. Not a lot of guys really want to take it at your pace nowadays. Sometimes they just want to take years to even make you their girlfriend. So it kind of just happened that way. And he said he had a friend here in Arizona because he was in New Mexico at the time. He said he had a friend
working in New Mexico.
Huh?
He was working in New Mexico.
Yeah, that's where he said he lived at and he was working at the time.
Okay.
So when I met him online, he was like, oh, I have a friend there. I was just there this past weekend. Can I come this weekend? And I was like, well, if everything goes well during the week, we'll see how it goes. So he came down and his plan was to end up moving down here with his friend. And I don't even know if that friend was real because at the end of the day, he just ended up with me from then on, which was a mistake of mine because I allowed it. And then, so he was with me 24/7. I couldn't leave his sight. So I was like, okay, well, my mom invited me for dinner. We're Mexican. We're very, we always have dinners. So I was like, if it's going this way, let's go. You'll meet him. So he dressed in a cowboy hat and, he had, I don't know, that's his wardrobe. He had it. Then he went and posted that my family made him dress like that or he dressed like that for me. So if you're watching that, that's not true. That's the wardrobe he uses in every relationship, and I can confirm that.
Okay.
So it kind of went from there, and my mom met him, and she was like, no. She didn't tell me in front of him. She waited till he left. He got in the car. I stayed behind for like 2 minutes. And she's like, I can see something in that guy's eyes that is evil. And I was
Wow.
like, what do you mean, Mom? Because besides the father of my kids, she hadn't met any other boyfriend or anything like that. So I was like, what do you mean, Mom? She's like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's something there, and it doesn't tell me you're safe. And so I started to get anxious, because then I started to think, well, dang, I really don't know this guy. Right. So it kind of started there, and then it got really bad when I would be at work and I would share my location with him. I had nothing to hide. So I was at work sharing my location. I work by a window. So if I get up and walk around, he's automatically blowing up my phone, FaceTiming me because he wants to see my surroundings and what's behind me. He's like, who are you messing with at work? What are you doing behind my back? Why is your location moving?
And this is recent, like within the first month, a week of him.
Yeah, the first month. Yeah. At
Okay.
first, he's a really, really good talker. He's I don't want to say too much because it's going to come back on me, but he's been in a place where all you do is read, so he knows how to speak. He's very intelligent, I can tell you that.
Okay.
So he got me that way. And it's just having to know my location. I couldn't even stop at a stop sign because he's FaceTiming me, and it just happened to be every story with the X, different location, different state, same story.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got worse after that.
Okay, let me go through the comments real quick because some people's giving some good suggestions. Shout out to Leslie. I have to say thank you to her because about a year back, somehow we kind of locked into the conversation and the topic and did a deep dive on narcissists and narcissism trait and dark triads. That may be something you need to look into to do your homework. She also suggested, put a restraining order on them. So
Done.
I don't know if you've done that, but you seem like you got a lot of evidence, the stuff I've seen on TikTok.
Yeah.
It might be the first way to go. If he's because and this is just for the audience, a lot of people on the TikTok side, but people on YouTube don't know. According to her, she said that he put sugar in the tank. That's a whole other conversation. The stalking, constantly harassing her to this point. So again, she showed all the receipts, but we're gonna have that conversation too.
Mm-hmm.
And me just being the guy, because most guys be like, well, if you see these bad things or you see these signs, why don't you just go ahead and just take and just just end it from there? Why would you just drag it out for like 2-3 months?
Yeah.
Now for his end, before I let you answer that question, on his end, when I'm thinking like it was just one side of the story, like, hey, I went on a dating show, it went left, people calling me, I lost my job, which I don't condone that for anybody to lose their job.
Right.
And my attitude with him was not just your money or success that you're claiming you have to be on a show, but it's like you're on a platform to the point where it's all about gender wars. And outside of that bubble, like a show like a little extra clip, like MTR's one, somebody else interviewed them, other content creators I mod for, like they're in this huge, big gender war conversation where people like, the mansplaining, the womansplaining, the woman bashing, the men bashing, the divesting. It's so much going abroad. And now it came to the point where now people's actually doing their homework on this guy and more information is coming out.
Yeah.
Even I have a shout out to Yanni too, because I don't agree with a lot of stuff she said. We pretty much watched the same thing. And when she was like, hey, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm showing, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on if you want to tell a story about the sugar in the tank and everything else?
Okay. So I guess we'll start with, I just posted a video right before you reached out, but World Star Spend It, and the way they told the story was that I got him fired, that, I posted the video and I got him fired. One, I knew where he worked when we were together, but he doesn't stay in a job very long, just like he doesn't stay in a state for too long. So I don't know where he works now. So that's that. I would never condone to lose a job, because me as a single mom, if that were to happen to me, like, what am I going to do to feed my kids? So I would never condone that. Now, again, I am not the only one that's angry. I'm triggered, but there's a lot of exes that are angry. I spoke to one of them, and he actually got her fired. He called her job multiple times, her boss and her coworkers, and got her fired. And then what I think is happening here is he's mirroring everything from our stories. Like, because he put sugar in my gas tank when we broke up, and a tracker in my car, and an extra phone on record while I was working, he literally was super angry. And I said I had to come out with like $4,000 out of pocket to move apartments, so he didn't know where I lived. I had to get a whole new car, so he didn't know what I drive. And in his stories, I don't know if you hear his stories or you're watching his stories, but now all of a sudden he needs to move states because he doesn't feel safe. So he needs to come out with $3,900 out of pocket. He needed to get rid of his truck because everyone knew what he drove, and he was scared, so he needed to get rid of that. He mirrored my story. Now he's mirroring my friend's story because he got her fired because he called her job multiple times. Now he's using that story and that narrative and using it as his platform. So that's kind of what happened there.
Oh wow. On the interview that he had, I saw a little bit of portion. I was gonna review that because he was a little bit of stuff he was touching bases on the dating show. On the interview, he was saying that, hey, he's a God-fearing man, what the Lord, needs, what he expects from a woman, all this stuff. Now, the main thing was, I thought it was funny. Somebody said in the your TikTok comment said, "Hey, do you have hairy arms?" So, what did you have hairy arms when he met you?
I did. I mean, it's not that bad. Sometimes I'll shave them.
Well, that was his turn off. That was his turn. According to him on the video, he said, "Hey, I never met anybody. I deal with women that don't have hairy arms. So obviously, you had some hair in your arms."
No, and I even became friends with the girl that he said that to. So that's the funny part.
Okay, that's crazy. Let me give a little shout out to the chat. Shout out to Leslie again. She says, "Jill, I agree. Again, if he's committing a crime with sugar and tank, the stalking, definitely harassment, that's a lot. I'm going to encourage that for everybody else. If somebody going that level of it, even with guys, if you got a woman, pretty much, I know us guys, we think that physically we're stronger than women, and that's perfectly fine to have that kind of attitude and mentality. But there are some things that can kill you. You don't need force to take somebody out. Okay." Just think about that. If somebody can track you down, know your whereabouts, know your habits, just a good sense of your pattern. Like she's saying, hey, tracking your car, know when you get on and off of work. People can do some heinous things to you that can cost you your life. Okay. So think about that. If you're seeing signs like that, go ahead and get a restraining order, take it from there. If you have to go to the craziest length that she's saying now to relocate somewhere else and she has children of her own, these are not his children. These are not his children. She has children of her own. For him as a grown man, for that level, it should be like, hi, bye. It doesn't work out. Let me move my way. You could be in your feelings by yourself, process them, move on. But that's a lot. Shout out to what's is in here. Dash, appreciate you. So I guess it said she does. Leslie says homosexual. Shout out to Vega. Vega said women's intuition. I agree. A lot of women have like that third eye, and some like ask a lot of questions, especially if that's their man and they're claiming each other. They're gonna ask a lot of questions to that person directly, like, hey, what's going on? Why are this is happening? So many things is like not connecting the dots. And if that guy can't answer them question like 1, 2, 3, and guess what? They're going to ask more questions. Now they're going to do the FBI route, and something's going to pop up. I'm like, okay, this is not it. But I will say this, though. Once you get that tingle, start finding your exit strategy because it's problematic. You don't know this guy like you think you do. Shout out to Leslie. I guess she's agreeing with Jay about if more, it's more for documentation in case you have to I guess to pop the pistol. Yeah, it's a little bit different. There's levels to it. Shout out to Dash again, said he didn't follow on the restraining order, guys. So he did have restraining order?
I have 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't because he's contacted multiple of the exes, and I have all the police files. I have all of the restraining order numbers. I have everything I need.
That's crazy. And this is the same state with any restraining orders that you're in?
California, Texas, Arizona. There's multiple women with the same exact case as me, and people are upset because I'm telling my story or that I'm doing it for the clout. I had a platform before I even met him. Yeah, so even before these videos, I had a platform. And again, when I posted this, I didn't even think I didn't know there was people out there that went through the same exact story. Now, when I laugh, it's because I'm upset. Like I'm about to cry, right? Like I laugh and then I cry. So yes. She's sitting there laughing in the comments. It's because I'm angry. I'm a mom and you're posting my kids online without my permission. Like, what do you expect from me?
That is crazy. I agree back again what Leslie said, like it's jail. Like if he's breaking it, report them as much time as you need and take it from there. That's a lot. Shout out to Les again. She says you're kind and respectful. You don't have to worry about your job. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I agree. No, man, absolutely do not move a man into your house in less than a month with the child in your home. I agree. You really got to vet properly, especially with children, your own safety. And you did the right thing earlier about the vetting part, because I say this a lot. A lot of people don't like that. If you're dating somebody and you got kids, even if it's just you and you have like a good family dynamic or just friends, just invite him over there, see how he interacts. Because on this platform, we pretty much talk about narcissism, dark triad traits, because empathy is a big part of it. Gaslighting is a big part of it. So if they're out there and they mirroring and they just acting a fool, and it depends on how they interact with different personalities, that's also a red flag too. So Mom was right. Mom was right.
No, she definitely was. And when I first met him at the time, they were with their dad. We do 50-50, so we'll change up the schedule. So they weren't around when he came. And so he took that narrative. I don't know if you've seen the TikTok, but he took that narrative and said, he posted the kids and said she lost custody and didn't try to get him back. My kids are with me right now. They're with me every day. So like, it's just like, it's not true. But even though I know it's not true, it hurts because those are my kids and I love them. So for people to start believing that I lost custody, and I can't even post my kids anymore, even if I wanted to on Instagram, because it's like he changes the narrative and it's so scary. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Welcome to the internet. That one of the things my co-host said, just on, because we only knew his side of the story where he went on there and stuff got, I guess, went left for him. And my co-host was like, well, when you have to be a little bit more aware. Pretty much the same thing with you, even myself, even and others. Like when we go put ourselves or expose ourselves online to a certain degree, we have to be very careful. I don't know if did y'all meet on a dating app? That's what it was?
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met on Facebook dating, but he's on BLK, he's on Facebook dating, he's on Tinder. Like we have everything we need, it's just, if he makes a move, then we have everything we need. And he claims to be reformed, and his last charge was in May of 2023, so.
Yeah, definitely stay on top of that. That's very problematic. Shout out to Leslie again, said he's a nut. Shout out to Dash. She says I'm another one of his exes. She's telling the truth. Wow. Shout out to AT, a scammer. He's a narcissist. Yeah, that's pretty much the signs I'm seeing, because a lot of stuff, the mirroring, the gaslighting, lack of empathy is a big one. That's why I suggest people like, hey, we had interviewed Miss Deanna that was from Soft by Underbelly. She came on. Her mom, the family, her husband, like she had like a rough, bad start of it. And thank God she didn't go the other way. She actually still just kept positive movement on it. So I suggest you stay on that too and do the same. Shout out to Jazz Adams. He makes up grand lies and runs with them. He is a habitual liar. Okay, appreciate you. Yvette Murray, Grey Pill. Hey, lady, appreciate you. Like your avatar. Thank you. Death Mage, what's going on, lady? So the girl's spidey senses were right. Yeah, mom's was actually accurate.
Mom, yeah.
Mom said, hey, I looked into your eye. This ain't it.
Yeah, and at first I was like, because she's very religious. So I was like, maybe it's just something that's not in her religion, like, but it's not. It wasn't. Absolutely, it was not.
Yeah. Shout out to Jeff Again said, I'm an ex as well. Oh, the ex is just coming in.
And I didn't even expect your live. Okay, it was sent like 5 minutes before.
Yeah, I was gonna play for something else, and I was seeing this, and Yanni's. I have to give I really have to give Leslie her flowers because she pushed me onto the Yanni train on the platform, and I watched a little because we pretty much watch a little bit of some shows, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff she say. And then when she pulled up this, and I was like, "Are you serious?" We just did a group conversation about the relationship thing because I didn't like the fact that the dude lost his job. And then next thing I know, I see all this extra stuff. So now I'm like, I really don't even care if he lost his job, but it still sucks that he lost his job, So then now all these exes pop up everywhere. So I'm like, this is crazy. Again, this is why I say all the time, man. When you get on these live platforms and you get too comfortable with yourself, it is problematic. I get it. I don't know if there's a shirt, maybe his attitude. Ruby had a third eye on her head because she kept saying his ego. That's all she kept
Yeah.
saying. It's like his ego, and all the other women was sensing that down the road.
Yeah.
And this was a lot. Shout out to the Raging Tomato, also a friend of the Great Pill Podcast. She's saying, I think I need to hit rewind. I feel I missed a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. 30 minutes in. 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And let's give her a refresher for most people just coming in. A guy, I'm calling Weapon X. I pretty much nicknamed him the plumber guy. So the plumber guy pretty much on a balloon popping show, Sarah, where they do like kind of like speed datings, whatever. They have like a line of girls, opposite set come in, try to weed them out. Then they have a line of men come on, some women come on from the show. If a woman pops their balloon, they ask them why. They have like a little back and forth, not too much. It's like, hey, this is why I did this, and they move on. So with this particular gentleman, because that was like the only thing that went trending all over the place. Yeah, he's really a plumber, Vega, or was. It went viral from all over the place to the point where people was more shaming the women on there, and he got pretty much on this arc of, hey, these women, these particular black women got him and lost his job. And that's where the story. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know particularly, because you can't point fingers and say this person lost your job. But a lot of us seen the space where people actually go out their way, doxing people, pulling out their personal information, doing this whole bunch of weird stuff, having people SWAT and raid their houses just because they don't like them. And I was like, this is not a good thing for us and just losing his job. So what's going on? So we had the conversation, moved on, Sarah, and then next thing you know, between Yanni and myself, just like doing just a basic deep dive on this conversation, the lovely lady here, come to find out, he's more than what he seemed on a consistent level, not just a one-time offender, consistent. There's women in the chat saying, hey, me too, literally me too. So it's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know why they spend it on saying I got him fired. For all I know, he quit. He started a GoFundMe. It has over $10,000. And he has multiple Instagram pages. All of a sudden, he's like, hey, pay me this amount of money to my Cash App and I'll shout you out. And then all of a sudden, he's saying it's fake. So I just want you guys to be careful with your money. And you don't have to take sides if you don't want to. If it's entertainment for you guys, that's okay. But the reason why I did it was for awareness. I look at it like, what if Ted Bundy had survivors and those survivors were able to save the next people that passed away? There's women on the news all the time in refrigerators, in like bags, and it's not only online dating, but that's just been my experience. But just be careful.
I agree. Just to make sure I don't miss anything. Jay said, welcome to all the exes. Yeah, welcome. I appreciate everybody for coming on through. Again, this is a very wild and unhinged story. So again, safety, this is pretty much solution-based channel over here. So just vet properly, safety, watch everybody with the fine-tooth comb as much as you can. Shout out to Sarah, says, wait, is this an ex reunion? Sarah, ATS Scammer said he made me lose my job, so that's his karma. Fair. And I'm not never gonna knock you. Fair. Child, the exes are hopping out on nowhere. Man, I swear to you, Leslie, I swear to you, this is when you know you're not lying. And the fact that she has receipts, like receipts on top of receipts on her TikTok, all the links will be dropped below so everybody can go check it out. It is there. And it's the problem. I'm not gonna say with MTR, but this is where I have to give Yanni her tribute to this one, because you'll see one thing, right? And then you'll be like, I don't know. Just do the basic homework, because it didn't take much for me. When this came up, we just had a group conversation Tuesday night, and this came up on my algorithm. And matter of fact, it started with my niece because it popped up on Facebook. Just a little bit of homework and just take it from there. Because I was more like the women he was arguing with. I was like, oh, these women have been on the show multiple times, so maybe they're doing the engagement or the clickbait thing, how it goes. But no, again, you have actual real people here, like Miss Pretty Girl Glaze, that's been through some stuff. So shout out to Les again, says, okay, we read that one. So I wonder what the guy Wes, I think was his name. Hey, Wes gonna get an earful next Tuesday. But again, we were just to be fair, mate, we were just on the conversation of the dating, how everything went, and then the aftermath of this gentleman. So more has come up, so he will get updated on that one. But I'm sure he's gonna say the same thing I'm saying. It sucked that it's happened. Everybody just need to be a little bit more better prepared. I personally appreciate, I'm sure he will too, just for the awareness of it is, because everybody need to be safe on all fronts. Okay, so I think he would go with that route. Jasmine Adams again says she has nothing to do with it. Don't even know where he works. Fair enough. Vega says, is he really a plumber? He was, from what he said he was. He was showing like I think on his TikTok where he was doing plumbing.
Yeah.
So he was showing that.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him. I took him one time to work when we were together, but I don't remember. It was all the way in another city that was like 30, 40 minutes away. And then he was studying. He was a journeyman when I was with him, and then he was studying to get his license. So I don't know if that happened. I gave him his props though. When I'm in my video, I said, yes, he's licensed. I'm nobody to knock anybody, and that's why I said I'm nobody to make him lose his job. But things do come around, and obviously he made someone else lose their job, and I don't know, that just happened.
Silly question. Now, in his interview, since all the X's is popping up, the girl he walked off with on the date, did she reach out to you also? Because he had some words about her. And then NTR, yeah.
I did see a lot of the back and forth. Everybody sends me everything. So I did see a lot of the back and forth of him going back and forth with all of the girls that were on the show. She seems very sweet. It doesn't look like they walked off together. It looks like she gave her Instagram or her number to somebody else before the show ended. And he kind of gave her that look like, oh, that's how it's going to be. And he posted a video, telling everybody what happened too. And I guess she might have noticed it right then and there. Like, I just met you and, you're acting.
Yeah, we're dating.
Towards me.
Yeah, we're dating.
Right. We didn't even date. I just matched with you 5 minutes ago, That's how it was for them.
It's not that deep. We're dating. If obviously you probably have, I'm sure he probably have like everybody some DMs and stuff on the ready to go just in case. Again, I'm gonna go by the stuff he was saying. So he was saying like, hey, if it doesn't work out, whatever. So that's the same energy he should need to keep. Shout out to Jocelyn. I like your avatar. Says, hi, I'm Drip Drop, Joe's the life he almost took. Are you serious?
Yeah, but that's not my story to tell. That's why I didn't, bring it up. I did do a TikTok. I did not put her name in it because I said whatever you don't feel comfortable with. Again, that's why I said we have paperwork on that. He just runs every time he's contacted by the authorities. So
fair enough. ATS, a scammer, says he stole my phone and harassed all my family, friends, and coworkers. Vandalized my home, got all my banking information, stole from my son, even a kid. And this God-fearing man who claims to help kids. No. Jeez. Hey, Leslie, if you can't hit up Yanni, because this is a lot right here, man. Extra say hit the like and share button. I appreciate y'all guys. Again, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, definitely hit the all bell notification. It helps out tremendously. Scammer also says he would only work a couple of days and quit due to saying tracking our location was too much and making him feel like he's crazy. He's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Yeah, he need to get that treated like ASAP. Leslie says, right, he could be lying. He could be. Again, she has all the receipts on her end. We have other women making claims of this too. I'm sure they have receipts of that. Want to go on by his word, but I haven't seen receipts, just the story he's telling. Again, that's why I say you need to do your homework. I wouldn't take nobody's word for anything, especially on YouTube. And she said it best. If it's just entertainment, take it as entertainment. If it's not, go with it.
You have to be careful because he does falsify documents. He posted one on his story stating that he's suing all the TikTokers and other people for $13,000, and it is copy and pasted. The letter format is not correct, and he signed it sincerely, Aaron. A paper like that needs to be served by a lawyer and written by somebody else other than himself. So if he's threatening you guys, letting you know that he's going to sue you, unless he's actually serving you, don't be scared of him.
Yeah, I agree too, because there was a situation with there was a Daisy Chin dated some guy from Fresh and Fit. That was like the most worstest podcast. Ladies, never go on that podcast. If you go on that podcast, you lose our respect for me. We will like, hey, why? But never go on that podcast. But she dated a guy there. It went left where she actually got pregnant by the guy. They knew they was having unprotected sex. So of course, 1 + 1 = 2. I mean, extra baby. and he denied her, played like the MIA game, was dismissing her, ignoring her, and then come to find out other bigger platforms like Aber and Preach, Trilogic, everybody was talking, interviewer, and then they was like claiming that she was an escort just off the rip, saying that she's lying off the rip, and every time anybody says something about her, she was just bringing up receipts, and it was like, that's a lie, this lie. She was bringing up receipts, but on the other end, nobody can bring up receipts about anything until like how you and the ladies here in the chat, a friend of mine who actually is an escort was like, no, she's not an escort. I'm an escort, and you, sir, did this with me. And she had like a whole format of documents on her. So that will have a conversation for next time with me and her about that one. But yeah, you got to be very careful. Have your receipts ready. Shout out to Raging Tomato. Raging Tomato says, you didn't tell me I needed some popcorn for it. Hey, I didn't know neither.
I didn't know what was coming.
I saw something. I was like, I said, somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. And you making as much money as you are, and you clean cut, and you're coming to a dating podcast. That was suspicious, number one. But I, at the same time, I had to put a pass on it because, like, I get it. Maybe some guy, just like some women, like, hey, you know what? I'm too busy to look for somebody. Let me go here. But at the same time, I'm like, why would you go 3-4 hours out your way to prep and go on a dating show when you could literally go out your door, walk around the block, and pick up somebody? You can go to a coffee shop. You can go to the mall. You go to a bookstore. If you got all the status, everything that you're saying that he's claiming, again, this is his words. Right. You can easily pull out $100K in his pocket. Why are you going on a dating show? And we had that conversation, so now here we are. So no, I think I need popcorn too, extra butter.
I'm like, but can he?
Hey, y'all ladies know him better than I do. I'm not dating him, or wasn't dating him. Shout out to Daz. We all have our receipts. Okay, I appreciate that, because again, this with that majority of the male gender spaces and the sexist spaces out there via YouTube, that's their main thing. Like, oh, these women are talking smack. All they do is run their mouth. They don't know anything. So now you have receipt. That is fine. Again, this gentleman, nobody's not asking the real questions. Everybody just needs to ask the real questions. Shout out to Leslie says, Will keep saying he was sassy.
I heard that too.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the sassiness except for what Ruby was explaining. She said the ego and the clap back, because Wes was saying he was giving the energy. He was matching energy with the ladies. And Ruby said, no, the way he was being very confrontational with them, that appeared sassy and an ego. And a lot of people didn't catch that. And then the fact that you and other ladies know him, then it matches up.
The videos he posted on his Instagram further on from the show, everybody's starting to catch on. And when he's angry, he's not scripted. So when he's angry, his true colors come out. So he's going on live angry, or he's angry that we're posting our sides of the story, and he doesn't have time to script. He doesn't have time to prep. So everybody's starting to see his true colors now. On his GoFundMe, he raised it, and he put raising money for humanitarian work, to help kids in need, veterans, and single moms. And then he went and made another post stating, thank you for your support. I'm going to throw a big party with VIP section, popping bottles, and with your money, I'm going to be, what did he say? Merchandise and create content. But that's not what he said when he created.
Oh, no. I'm going to look into that. And we're petty over here. So, because I know, shout out to MTR, since they had the incident by the brick lady, and he was investigating all that, and she got her, actually she got charged, and her GoFundMe got taken down. We're going to look into that too. So I have friends on this end too, so we're going to definitely look into that. I will have no life for that situation. So there you go. What else up there? Shout out to Yvette, said, I'm sorry this happened to you ladies. Yeah, I am too. This is very, 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 very a lot. Shout out to Army Vet, says, I am late. Yeah, we're just getting into it, man. Who else do we have out here? Shout out to Miss Scammer again. That's 100K is a lie. We want proof of his termination letter. By law, even being employed as a licensed plumber, if you're contracted with an employer, the employer still has to give a termination letter. Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you for that information. Appreciate that. Shout out to Marcus. Marcus says, if a guy has a 6-figure he can pull out the bank, shouldn't stop a person from experiencing a dating opportunity on a platform. You're 100% right. It shouldn't stop you at all. I just, me personally, again, I'm going to speak from my perspective with this one. Same conversation last time. I just think it's very, it was, for me, it's a red flag for a person to, like, if you have that much money to go on a that type of dating show, it's not like the ones that we've seen before. Like, there's actually real producers, there's real lawyers, there's people in there will have like NDA agreements, stuff lined up and signed for you. So just in case, like, they're helping themselves and they're helping you, just in case stuff goes left. I'll give an example. 90 Day Fiance is one. Love is Blind is another one. These people go on these shows, and when stuff goes left, guess what? The main two co-hosts, the husband and wife, they will call you out during the reunion. I've seen it happen. But also, everybody have their T's and I's crossed just on legalities process. So we seen, let's say, for example, tomorrow I have like a dating show. I have no papers or nothing to sign. Say, hey, well, you can't say this, you can't say that. There's no agreements. Do whatever you want. Even the way he not saying making a bad thing, but even when he had like a little bit of a spat with one of the ladies, and the main host was like, okay, guys, okay, there's nothing she could have done if the woman physically assaulted him or he physically assaulted her. There's nothing could have been done because they just openly have these girls on there, just like shout out to Fresh and Fit. They have them on, stuff pops off, and you don't never see no cops come, you don't never see no lawyers in there, just stuff happens. So that's my input on that one. Yes,
need to be ran because I feel like she just put a whole bunch of people in danger who didn't even know anything about it. So I don't know what's gonna happen with the show. I don't know if people are gonna say something about it, but just be careful.
Yeah, I think they're gonna still have their show because again, it's just a dating show. I just think, me personally, I just think they just need to screen a little bit better just in case, because if they're bringing women onto the show to make them feel more comfortable, at least have some kind of vetting process. Again, Love is Blind, some other dating shows done it before, but you can't really protect them thus far. It's like, oh well, this guy just turned out to be like a narcissist or a psycho. Like, there's no, you can go that far down the road, but just as long as they're not violent, as long as they're not outbursts, as long as they have like a deep understanding, like, hey, it's a dating show, this is what's going to happen. Just give like a little bit basis of it and take it from there. That's what I would say. So
it's entertaining. So
yeah, it's entertaining. I never seen the show. I mod for a guy on the Cases Car about that good stuff, and he again locked onto that, and I just mod for him, and that's how I seen it. I didn't really care too much about it because a lot of these, for me personally, a lot of these dating shows like this for engagement, because a lot of women's been on there repetitively a lot, and then they like to clip stuff, do shorts and do thumbnails, and that's fine. That's their niche. That's their thing to get the clicks and views. That's fine. But originally, just be very careful what you need to do. Shout out to Leslie. Leslie says, but this guy has a record. Yes, and that's part of vetting. Look that up. Like, I'm sure a lot of women don't want a guy. I'm sure the record should be like no-nos, like, hey, assaults multiple times, vandalism, all this good stuff. If it's something like that on a consistent level, and it's like years, decades down the line, okay. But if it's something consistent repeatedly, like these ladies say in the chat, Miss Pretty Girl Glaze is saying, like, hey, 3 states down the road, consistently, vandalism, stealing from one's son, stealing from here, taking people, that's pretty much fraud in itself, stealing somebody's personal information. That's a lot. Shout out to Marcus. Marcus says, again, I remember the question I made was they needed to bring women one at a time. So yeah, that was a suggestion from last time. Bring men one at a time. So it won't be a little bit like together, because most people feel like it was like more like a girls group from there. But looking at the long term now, it seemed like every woman had the same third eye on their forehead. Ruby had it. The young lady here, Ms. Glaze had it. Women in chat had it. There we go. So can't be wrong from there. Get to the last one. Shout out to New York. Google asks, where is his ex talking about him? X is right here. And the X is in the chat on New York. All of them. They came through.
Probably just got here.
Yes. Now I was going to, if you want to add anything to the conversation, I was going to go and review the interview that he had with, I guess, a husband and wife dynamic. If you want to stay on for that one, you're more than welcome. I really can't think of anything else as far as like questions to ask you, because again, you have all the receipts about it, so you're more than welcome to stay for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think all I really had to add was just be careful with online dating. I know it's gonna come back on me somehow. He's gonna try to, I don't know what he's gonna try to do, but the only ammo he has against me is my kids. So I guess we'll see where that goes. And yeah, he painted himself to look like a saint. I watched the video with the husband and wife, and they're amazing. They had nothing to do. They didn't know him. They didn't know me at the time. They didn't even see my TikToks. So no disrespect against them. They were really nice. Just watch him in the video, and you see how scripted he is. That's all I have to say.
Fair enough. I definitely appreciate it, lady. And again, thank you for answering any questions. Again, if anybody have questions in the chat, please bring them up. I'm going to leave her link below. It has all the receipts there, and she's open to like, hey, if you got questions, definitely make the comments. And don't, private, make it public. Make the comments right there. Your questions for her. She will drop everything right there for you. A lot of women said, again, just to rinse and repeat this, hey, the guy's not claiming to what he's appeared to be. Clearly, he doesn't have a job. He bouncing from state to state. He has a consistent record of how he is. He has a temper problem. This is what's everything been said. These are receipts on the TikTok on Ms. Glazin. Other women here has in the chat has receipts of this too. So I'm just going to urge everybody to just be very careful who you idolize on shows, even if who you demean to at the same time. So be very careful of that. All right. So thank you again, Ms. Glaze. I appreciate you very much. If you have anything, you're more than welcome. Hit the chat and, and voice your opinions and concerns.
I'll just be in the chat.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.